Hey there, it's Gary Parrish. I hope you're enjoying the holiday season. We are, and that's why we're not in studio doing live shows this week. We'll be back soon, though, on Monday, just right around the corner. In the meantime, Bennett Doyle, selfless gentleman, has put together some clips of fun or interesting conversations we've had in recent months. They're mostly timeless, we think. We're going to start today with a conversation we had as soon as it was announced that Memphis and Iowa State were going to play in the Liberty Bowl. Then it's a conversation about a woman who decided she should be allowed to sing on a plane because she got nominated for a Grammy, regardless of whether anybody wanted to hear her sing on a plane or if it was actually against airline rules. It's a weird deal. Then it's a conversation we had about a bus driver getting fired after accidentally drinking White Claws. I hope you enjoy these segments, even if you've already seen them. And again, we'll be back in studio with live shows on Monday. Memphis, Iowa State.
The rematch.
The rematch.
The remix.
It's the Tigers with a game inside Simmons Bank. Hey, if you won't let the Tigers in the Big 12, we'll bring the Big 12 to Simmons Bank.
Damn right we will.
And beat them in a bowl game. This is perfect for Memphis. Perfect. Because the entire Memphis season right now is defined by most this way. 9 wins is great in a vacuum. They only lost to good teams, ranked teams. But they also didn't beat anybody of substance. And so what did they really accomplish? Most people have most of that in their opinion about Memphis football somewhere. All right? There are some who say, okay, they didn't beat anybody, but 9-3 is still great. I'm going to celebrate it. That's fine. There are others who say, they didn't beat nobody. Mm-hmm. And that's also kind of true. Here's what's great about this. Now you have an opportunity to change that narrative. We talked about it last week. If you beat Iowa State, what you have then done is beat a, quote, good team, beat a team from a power conference, beat a team that you're not supposed to beat because you are an underdog to them. You have a 10-win season. And then Ryan Silverfield can stand up and say, I don't ever want to hear Gary Parrish or anybody else say that we didn't beat anybody any good or we didn't beat anybody we weren't supposed to beat, because we just did. I'm sorry we couldn't beat 3 nationally ranked teams. I apologize for that. We'll try to do better next year. But that's all we lost to were nationally ranked teams. We beat everybody else, including an Iowa State team from the league that won't have us, that odds makers said was supposed to beat us by a touchdown or so. That's a great place to be in.
It is a great place to be in.
If you're Ryan Silverfield, now go take advantage of this place that you're in. You're in a wonderful position to shut your skeptics up, to shut your critics up. And even as somebody who has really not questioned Ryan as much as I've just said, like, calm down about this whole 9-win season because there ain't much there in terms of substance. I've been that guy just because I look at it and it is what it is.
Right.
I haven't really been skeptical of Ryan, but a lot of Memphis fans have been. And if you want to shut those people up, and not just shut them up, but win them over, this is the way to do it. Or this is at least the best way to do it, given the opportunities that are in front of you. And you've already seen him, like, you know, after the last game of the regular season, he had that moment where he was like, the fans are miserable, and the same people that boo Santa Claus. That was just internal. I don't think he should have said what he said, but I understood why he said it. Mm-hmm. I get it. I say some things, I get frustrated too, and say things that maybe I wish I could take back, right? I feel like that was, because he's already tried to walk it back a little bit.
Yeah.
Even with the press conference yesterday, it was like, hey, I love our fans, best fans, you know, all that stuff. It's fine.
Sure.
But if you want to win those people over, you're not going to win them over ever by telling them they're miserable or telling them that they boo Santa Claus or telling them they'll never be happy. You can't tell people to appreciate you. And by the way, this is true in all aspects of life. You ever seen this with like relationships? Husband, wife, more likely boyfriend, girlfriend, certainly younger stuff more than older stuff. But you'd have these two people break up. You probably got friends just like this. You might be one of these people. Got these two people break up. And one person says, you're never going to find nobody better than me. I can't believe you wouldn't want to be with me. I'm the best person you could ever be with because I'm A, B, and C, and D, and nobody else has ever been like this.
Yep.
And you know what? If the other person doesn't care, they don't care. You can't talk them into it. You can't talk somebody into being in love with you. I guess that's the point I'm trying to make. I see people try to do it my entire life. Oh, I love so-and-so. I know, but she moved on or he moved on. I know, but God, I'm so good and I treated him well. I know, I thought so too. I just don't understand. I don't understand either. Should I call her and say what? Just tell her how much I love her and how much she should want to be with me. I mean, you could do that if you want to. It won't do any good. You can't talk somebody into liking you. You can't talk somebody into loving you. You can't talk somebody into believing in you. You have to win them over, however you do that. And this is Ryan's opportunity to win some. There'll still be some, I'm certain, who will say, oh, they beat Iowa State, who cares? But I will, as somebody who has consistently said, it's nice to win the games you're supposed to win, but that's all they've done is win games against teams that are inferior, and anytime they've played what most people would call a good team, they've gotten beaten. I am somebody who has said that consistently, and I stand on it today. If they beat Iowa State, I'll say, hey, the circumstances have changed. They've now beaten a good team. They've now won a game they weren't supposed to win. And that, you ready for this? And that is a good Memphis football season. I will go from saying this is it's exactly what the Memphis football season should have been, I guess, to I'll move. You win the Liberty Bowl, I'll call your season a good season.
And think about how much it changes how people feel about this team heading into next season. If you're to get this win, you get a big win in a bowl game over a power conference opponent. You got your quarterback back next season. SMU's not in the league anymore. The league is inarguably worse than it was this past year. Tulane just lost their great head coach. So there's a chance you could come into next season as the favorite to win the conference. Oh, by the way, expanded playoff next year. And so anything you could imagine all these great possibilities heading into next season if you can get this win in the Liberty Bowl.
I don't want to get hyperbolic, and I know we're in it a little bit. We're closer to it. So we're talking about it in ways other people aren't talking about. Like,
sure.
On the Pete Thamel, Pat 40 podcast, they ain't breaking down what Memphis' bowl game means for Ryan Silverfield. They got other things to worry about. This is very low on the things that are important in college football. But it's very high on the things that are important for the University of Memphis. And though, sure, Alabama, Michigan, Texas, Washington have higher stakes in their national semifinals, their bowl games, I don't follow it closely enough to know exactly what coaches are dealing with all over the country in every bowl game that's going to be played. But to your point, and for exactly the reasons you just described, I don't think it's crazy to say Ryan Silverfield has as much riding on this as nearly anyone in the way that he will be viewed and his program will be viewed over the summer heading into next season. If they lose to Iowa State, especially if they get blown out, it'll just be like, this guy is good enough to keep us okay. Mm-hmm. But he ain't going to take us to the next level, and he ain't going to get us back to where we once were. That will be the predominant opinion. He's good enough to keep us from being bad, but he can't do it. If they lose to Iowa State, that's what most people will say. If he beats Iowa State? And I know it's just a win over Iowa State. Maybe it shouldn't even matter that much.
It's real momentum, though.
We just won 10 games. We just won a Big 12 team. We did it in front of our home fans. We got our quarterback coming back. SMU's done. We're very happy. We're very happy. But next year's the real year. If you thought this 10-win season was fun, wait till you see what we got in store next. You can change the way you feel walking around the city all summer, the way people feel about you walking around the city all summer. It's a big game.
Yeah, it is.
It's a big game.
I'm excited.
I don't get caught up in bowl games outside of the college football playoff because I don't care. They're games that wins don't lead you somewhere. And games where wins don't lead you somewhere don't matter much to me. They're so unimportant outside of the college football playoff that legitimate NFL prospects often don't even play in them. They just say, that don't even happen in college basketball when you go to the NIT. People still play in the NIT. Sometimes teams turn down invitations, but you get the point. Wait, you'll hear about Georgia players and Florida State players not playing in the Orange Bowl. Like, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
All right? So I largely don't care about bowl games outside of the college football playoff. But that doesn't mean this game isn't important for Ryan Silverfield. It's not that important in the grand scheme of college football, but it's very important for Ryan. And I hope that he is able to, I believe it's December 29th. Mm-hmm. I hope they're able to do it. I want good things for that football program. But I'm never going to sit in here and lie to you and try to tell you this 9-win season is something that should be celebrated or lead to some lengthy and expensive contract extension. I don't think that it should. I think it was good, but nothing close to great. But that doesn't mean that I don't want it to be good or great. And you can really shift the narrative connected to everything with a win over Iowa State. I hope they get it.
Number 5.
Congratulations to Jim Leland. Famous man. But the flight leader wasn't having it. Have you seen this viral video?
No.
This viral story?
I have not.
This internet sensation? So there's this gospel singer named Bobby Storm.
Okay.
I'm not unfamiliar. I don't listen to gospel music.
I think I'm familiar either.
But she's apparently, she's
Big
nominated
deal?
from, well, let's calm down.
Okay.
She was sitting in coach. I ain't ready to call her a big deal yet. All right?
Okay.
But she is nominated for multiple Grammys.
Okay.
All right?
That's a big deal.
That is a big deal. But I don't know if she's a big deal. It's possible to be nominated for multiple Grammys and not be a big deal. Would you accept that?
Yes.
Okay. So I think this is a category she falls in. Okay. Like SZA is nominated for more Grammys than anybody. Also a big deal. She's a big deal. Bobby Storm, nominated for Grammys. I wouldn't call her a big deal.
Okay.
So anyway, she's on this flight. And, well, I'll just let you watch it. And we're not going to watch the whole thing because it's 3.5 minutes and I ain't got that kind of time. All right? Not today. But here's what happened between Bobby Storm, who was just trying, she wanted to sing. She's very proud. She just got nominated for Grammys.
Okay.
And she wanted to share her Grammy-nominated song with her fellow passengers. But the flight leader, which, by the way, is that just a new name for flight attendant?
I think so.
I think we're trying to gas up flight attendants a little bit, which is fine with me. I love them. But, the flight leader, is that where we're at now? I think just yesterday you were the flight attendant. Are you really the leader of this whole thing now? I don't know. Either way, that's how he described himself. Gentleman said, "I'm the flight leader," and this is what happened.
I'm starting right now on the billboard. I can sit down and I'll sit down, but the seatbelt signs off. The seatbelt signs off. It's not a disturbance. Once you hit, it's right here, babe.
Okay, have a seat.
I am. I'm gonna have a seat. Okay, so watch me bless him. So I used to sing on planes a long time ago. I just found out I'm up for 2 Grammys. My very first time, you guys. My name is Bobby Storm, and I'm up for 2 Grammys. I sing for the Lord, and my song is out on all platforms. It's called We Can't Forget 'Em. Michael McDonald cleared it. Warren G is on the original record as well. It's with Regulators. I want to share this with you guys. I wanted to do it when I first got on the plane, but I was like, I haven't done this in a while. I've gotten to the next status, so.
Are you able to be quiet?
But they're enjoying it. So while we're sitting here, could I please?
I'm not enjoying it. So I'm asking you, can you be quiet?
Okay, well,
That's a
fine, that up.
That's a yes or no answer, please.
Am I going to go to jail if I don't?
Can you please answer my question? Are you willing and able to be quiet right now?
I'm doing what the Lord is telling me to do.
I'm asking you a question, yes or no. I'm your flight leader. I need you to follow my instruction.
Okay.
My instruction for you to answer my question. Are you able to be quiet
What do you guys think?
I'm asking you, ma'am.
I'm asking you guys. What do you guys
Okay.
think?
If you're not able to follow my instruction, you will not be taking this flight.
Ah, okay.
Are
so
you
that's
able
all I
to
was
be
asking.
quiet?
If that's the case, then that's fine. If you were the
So that's
person
yes?
in charge of it all.
I'm your flight leader, yes.
If you're the person in charge
Okay.
of it all, then that's
Okay,
fine.
all right. Thank
right.
you.
His buddy sure does like calling himself the flight leader a lot, doesn't he?
Yeah. Okay.
Where are we at on this?
I got a lot. I got
Tell
a lot
what
to
you-
say.
tell
I
me
got
what
a
you
lot
got to say.
Okay. First and foremost, flight leader a little aggressive. A little
He was
aggressive.
a little
He was
aggressive.
a little aggressive,
I'll give you
and
that.
he kept calling himself flight leader, which
I
is,
know,
which is
buddy,
very lame. Stop
yeah,
that.
stop that.
Okay, I say that to say And I'm sure she has a beautiful voice.
She does.
I want to listen to
her. She does have a beautiful voice.
I mean, she's Grammy nominated, for God's sake.
2 times.
I shouldn't say God, but still.
She's singing for the Lord.
She's singing for the Lord. I say that to say, anytime, the world that we live, the post 9/11 world that we live in, I'm not sure. I know.
Where is this going?
I'm going somewhere.
Come on.
People have anxiety on planes, especially when someone starts getting unruly or loud or for whatever reason. That MFer's not real, girl. People are on edge on flights all the time because they're worried about stuff like that happening and their flight getting delayed because they got to throw somebody off the plane for acting crazy, stuff like that. So while it's a nice thing that she's trying to do for these people, and maybe if she would have sang for them, it would have been amazing. They would have all loved it and bought her album. But nobody really wants to hear that.
Time and place.
Nobody really wants to hear that on a plane. People want to sit there with their headphones on, looking at their computer, looking at their phone, reading their book. Nobody wants to be brought into something on a plane. Everyone wants to be left alone, quiet, peace and quiet. That's what we all want. So while I do agree the flight leader was being a little aggressive, I don't think he's wrong there because I just don't think people want to hear it.
People don't want to hear it.
Mm-mm.
And what she said there was that everybody involved there, she said, why are you stopping me from sharing my song? A, the Lord's telling me to sing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm singing for the Lord. And B, all of these people have given me the go-ahead.
Because what would happen? Yeah.
No, they didn't. There's no scenario where everybody on that plane said, yeah, sweetheart, if you want to sing your song, sing your song.
Right.
So the whole premise is set up. She also said, because she...
and then what happens if you say, no, shut up. I don't want to hear you.
Yeah.
Then she could get aggressive like all these other people you see on planes all the time.
First up, you can't just assume because you have a beautiful voice, people want to hear it. Right?
Right.
Like if Mariah Carey walked in here right now, does she have a beautiful voice, Mariah Carey? What do you think, Bennett?
Yes.
But who has a...
Mariah Carey has
you
a
think
beautiful
a beautiful voice?
Yeah, Mariah Carey has a beautiful voice. Yeah.
Okay, good.
I mean, yes.
Let's just say yes for the sake of the conversation.
Yes.
Adele.
Yeah,
beautiful voice?
Yes.
If they came in here and started singing right now while I was trying to do this, I'd be like, I'm trying to do 5 more things you need to know. Shut up.
Right.
Just because you have a beautiful voice doesn't mean I want to hear it.
Actually, that's not true. If either of those people walked in here right now and started singing, that would be the show. We would just...
In fairness, that would be the show.
Yes, we would let that happen.
We would let that happen.
Yes.
But internally, I'd be like, this is supposed to be my time, you know?
Uh-huh.
Why is Adele trying to overshadow me?
Overshadow, yeah.
Right? Just because it is wildly presumptuous to assume that strangers want to hear you sing. You run into this on the subway all the time. People just want to sing or dance for you. I don't need you to sing. Buddy, I got AirPods in. Whoever I want to hear sing, they're singing right now.
They're singing in my ear,
It's going on right now. I don't need you. All right? So for this lady to assume that everybody wants to hear her and even state that, hey, I've already cleared it with everybody. They're good to go. You're the only one standing in my way. It's just not an accurate portrayal of the situation. There's no scenario where everybody cleared that.
No.
There's probably some people sitting right around her who made eye contact with her, and she's like, you want to hear my song? And they're like, yeah, because like, what would you do? You don't want to hurt this woman's feelings.
Right.
You don't want to say, no, I don't want to hear your song, right? So even if I were sitting next to this woman, I'd be like, yeah, sure. But nobody, I don't want to say nobody, but you ain't got everybody's approval. The other thing she said, by the way, she rationalized this with a subsequent post. She said, when we land a plane, everybody gets up, people dial somebody on their phone, people talk to each other. So what is the harm with me singing if everybody else is doing all these things? All right, that's the way she tried to rationalize this. Here's the problem. Do you see that video? They had not just landed. Everybody else wasn't up and talking and stuff.
Right.
They were, if you didn't know, they had maintenance issues. They went out on the runway and they had to come back.
Just chilling.
They were taxiing back to the gate.
Gotcha.
Nobody else is standing up. Nobody else is making a ruckus. This woman's just making a ruckus.
Yeah.
When she announced, I just got 2 Grammy nominations. Do you hear what happened?
Everybody clapped.
Because we can be happy for you. We're happy for you. Now shut up. We're happy for you.
Careful.
But it's time to be quiet. We're happy for you, but I don't want to hear your song. And if I did, I'll just play it on Spotify into my ears. I don't need you singing it right now.
You know what?
Relax.
You know what honestly could have gone better for her is if she would have made that announcement and be like, "Hey guys, please, download my music. I just got nominated for some Grammys. Appreciate y'all."
Here's the thing. I actually don't think this is some master plan. Because she don't seem like the type that's got a master plan to me. But how many more people know Bobby Storm today than knew Bobby Storm yesterday?
That's a good point. Maybe it was a master plan.
People go viral on planes nonstop. So if you say, I'm just going to sing on this plane, somebody's going to record it, and best case scenario is just a cool moment of me on a plane. Worst case scenario is I get this awkward confrontation with the flight leader, and that goes viral, and next thing you know, everybody's going, who is this Bobby Storm? I don't think it's intentional, but that's a direct byproduct of this.
I mean, I will say, as soon as we walk out of the studio, I'm going to pull up Apple Music and listen to her songs.
Bobby Storm.
Just to see what they sound like, right?
Bobby Storm.
Yeah.
Here's what I would say. I'm happy for her. Like, she's clearly dream come true for her. She's very proud of herself.
Yeah, man. That's life-changing.
Which I like that, too. I like it when people are proud of themselves. For good reasons. I'm a little confused when people are proud of themselves. They ain't got really nothing to be proud of. But she has something to be proud of. She created something, and it's been nominated for multiple Grammys. I'm happy for her. But don't assume on a plane I want to hear you. I don't. If I want to hear you sing your songs, I'll buy a ticket to a concert.
Yeah.
For now, okay, let me set it up for you.
Yep.
Arlington, Virginia, which is a suburb of Washington, D.C., which may or may not have anything to do with this story.
Yeah, Arlington's where the National Cemetery is.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Arlington National Cemetery.
Yes.
Arlington's just like right there.
Yep.
I mean, it's like if you work at the Pentagon, you might live in Arlington. If you work at the White House, you might live in Arlington. There's a lot of people who work for the FBI and the CIA who live in Arlington, Virginia. Again, that may or may not be connected. I have no idea. So, police in Arlington, Virginia start getting 911 calls. There's this house, and it's just like a normal neighborhood, like, nice neighborhood, but like, just looks like anybody else in the neighborhood. Nice neighborhood. And police get calls, hey, there's somebody shooting like flares out of this house all over the neighborhood, just like, boom, 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 from inside the house, shooting flares all over this neighborhood.
Okay.
So the cops come out, and the guys then start shooting flares out at the cops. And now it's like a whole, they've got a search warrant.
SWAT team. Yep.
They've got the search warrant. They're ready to go in. Hey, come out with your hands up. Buddy ain't coming out with his hands up. All right? In fact, he starts firing on them. Pop, 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 pop. Well, at that point, we coming to get you.
Yeah.
All right? And that's about where we are when this video picks up. Watch this. Intentional explosion or not?
Oh. I mean, I would think yes, just because they're.
When I saw it, here's what I thought, and I have no idea if this is true. This is where my head went. I watched The Americans. Did you ever watch The Americans, the television show? FX?
No, but I know what you're talking about.
Okay, it was great.
Espionage.
Two Russian spies that come to America, and they purport themselves to be Americans. They're like living in. I don't know if it was Arlington, Virginia, but it was exactly like that. They live in a suburb of D.C. They're raising two kids. They're Russian spies, but they present themselves as Americans. It's a fabulous show. And there's just all like spy stuff going on and stuff. This is what it reminded me of. Like, hey, they would have people and you're on an assignment for
a
mission, and you're under instructions like if you get caught, here's the cyanide pill. You take it.
Yeah.
You kill yourself. You do not get caught. All right. So when I saw this, I'm like, well, that's what this is.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
We're in Arlington, Virginia. This is a spy or somebody. This is somebody that's like, hey, if they ever know what's going on with you, and they come for you, you just got to blow the house up and be done with it.
Yeah.
All right. That's what I thought. I don't know if that's it because
the part of the country is interesting too, right?
I mean, the Arlington, Virginia is what triggers that.
Yeah,
if this were in Jackson, Mississippi, I would just be like, oh, wow, somebody blew the house up in Jackson, Mississippi.
Right.
But the Arlington, Virginia thing makes you think, ooh, is this bigger than that, more complicated than that? The thing that flies in the face of that, because just like the first thing I see is the explosion. Mm-hmm. Then you start reading and reading and reading, and you learn more about it. But the first thing you see is that. Mm-hmm. The first thing I saw. And I'm like, oh, wow, somebody intentionally, cops zeroed in on some figure who like is involved in some stuff, and rather than be taken into custody, you just kill yourself and blow up the whole house. All the evidence, everything, right? That was my first thought. Then you learned later the whole reason they were there is because a bunch of people were calling 911 saying there's flares shooting out of this house all over the neighborhood. That suggests like if you were really involved in some espionage stuff, you wouldn't be shooting flares out of your house, bringing attention to yourself, would you?
No.
So I don't know what's going on, all right? We'll find out. Maybe.
Or will we?
Or will we?
Will we?
Or will we? You don't know.
Oh, because my conspiracy theory antennas have been up. We've been talking a lot of conspiracy theories lately.
Oh, buddy, I bet you Facebook's all over this.
Yeah, if we don't find out soon what happened here, something's up.
I bet you Facebook's already got this thing solved.
Oh, I bet so too.
I bet you could find some wild stuff on Facebook about this right now. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. From people I went to high school with.
Oh, yeah.
I bet you people I went to high school with are on Facebook right now, and they got this whole thing figured out.
Yep.
That's what I'll spend my afternoon looking.
Yeah, I will be paying attention.
I just go to Facebook because there's no better detective agency in the world
than Facebook.
That's right.
That's what they say.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm sure
it's like CIA, FBI, Facebook,
and Facebook. And in fact, people argue about the order.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So yeah, I guess I'll jump on Facebook later on today and see what my old high school buddies are posting. I'm sure they've got this all figured out. Mm-hmm. It's probably Joe Biden's fault.
Number 4.
Memphis assistant Rick Stansberry said he's been disappointed in crowds for Tiger games. On the job. You hear about this story?
I did.
Okay. This woman, she drives a public school bus on Long Island. She's been doing it for 15 years.
Yep.
All right?
Yep.
She's on the bus. Mm-hmm. I mean, White Claw can in her hand.
Yep.
Can't do that. That's an alcoholic beverage.
Right.
Do you enjoy White Claws?
My wife loves them, and so by default, I drink them too.
I'll drink a White Claw.
Yeah, I'll drink a White Claw. I don't care.
I don't care.
Yeah.
People try to. Do people make fun of you drinking White Claws if you're a man? Do people say, "Oh, you're not a man. You're drinking a White Claw"? I don't care. I like White Claws. I like them fine. I'll drink a Truly too. Put a Truly in my hand. I'll drink it.
I'll drink it, but
I'll drink a High Noon.
Those are more dangerous though.
You think High Noons are dangerous?
Well, that's vodka. That's like a vodka soda thing.
Yeah, what you're calling dangerous.
Yeah.
I'm calling
a good time.
Preferable.
I like High Noon.
I like High Noon.
Yeah, you can't buy those at like Target or like the grocery store though. I don't think.
Of course you can.
High Noon. I think you can only buy those at the liquor store, right? Am I wrong?
Yes, you're wrong.
Really?
You're just as wrong about that as you are about the Packers.
Man.
Yeah, you can buy them at Kroger.
I didn't know that.
Jalen said Kroger.
Okay, well maybe I need to.
Yeah.
I like High Noon.
I like High Noons. Mm-hmm. Hey, you want to really take it to a new level? You ready for this?
Yeah.
Cup, ice, vodka.
And then dump a High Noon on it.
Dump a High Noon on it. Half vodka, half High Noon. Turn up.
That sounds pretty dangerous, but delicious.
So this woman,
I like a good old Miller Lite.
Yeah, it's fine too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine too. People drinking Bud Light again these days, or are we still boycotting that?
I drink Bud Light.
I'll drink a Bud Light.
I never boycott.
I never boycotted Bud Light either. It seems stupid to me.
Frankly, I've never really boycotted any product.
I would never
ever.
boycott anything.
No.
I don't boycott anything.
No. Yeah.
I just want what I want.
Yeah. I don't care if High Noon came out tomorrow and was like, F y'all, we love Satan, like, then I would still be like, I'd probably still drink a High Noon.
Yeah. Yeah, that wouldn't be a deal breaker for me.
Yeah.
I would drink whatever. Like, I don't agree with everything that Chick-fil-A stands for, but I like those sandwiches.
Man, I love those sandwiches.
I went back and got a spicy pimento cheese.
How was it?
Awesome.
Really good.
Yeah.
I'm not going back because it's going to go away, so I don't want to fall in love. And
I fell in love. I'm
ripped out from under me.
No, I was ready to fall in love. I went back. I'm in love. I'm currently in love. So this woman, she's 60 years old. She's drinking a White Claw. Could have been anything, but it was a White Claw. Okay. And she's just drinking it straight out the can on the bus.
Yeah.
Somebody sees her. They're like, "Yo, the bus driver's drinking on the job. This is crazy." She's fired. All right. So they go to this woman. They say, "Yo, what are you doing? You can't drink and drive a bus. I mean, anything, but especially a bus with kids."
Yeah.
She said, "I have no idea I'm drinking an alcoholic beverage. None. I don't even drink. I have a roommate. This was in the fridge. I just thought it was a cold beverage. I'm currently going through chemotherapy." She's fighting cancer. You think your life's so bad, Bennett? You just pick a game wrong every day.
Right.
All right? She's dealing with cancer.
Yeah.
Bald. Just like you.
And you.
And me. And the chemotherapy has ripped away her ability to taste. So she doesn't even taste that it's an alcoholic beverage.
Okay.
And in fairness to her, I went and looked at a White Claw can.
Yep. I was just going to say.
It's not obvious. I mean, it says hard seltzer.
Yep.
But like, if you don't know it doesn't say alcoholic seltzer. If you, I know what hard seltzer means.
Yes.
You know what hard seltzer means.
Yes.
But it's not incomprehensible for somebody to not know what hard seltzer means. Like if I gave that to my 9-year-old and I said, what's a hard, if I just asked him, what's a hard seltzer? He wouldn't know.
No.
Do you believe this woman? Do you believe she did?
I actually do believe her.
I do too.
I believe her, and here's why. I'll give you an example. Everyone loves Celsius. That's like the big popular energy drink right now. Celsius cans, and hard seltzer cans, they're shaped exactly
They look exactly the same.
Yes.
You ready for this?
Yep.
Somebody gave me I have a Celsius.
Yeah.
Who gave me that?
Mike
Wallace.
Yeah, they brought him a case of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I had one. And I swear to God, up until you just said this, I had no idea what it was. I just put it in my fridge. I was like, is this a hard seltzer or is this something else? I don't even know what it is.
Right. Exactly. And again, it does, there's a little circle at the bottom that says 5% alcohol on the White Claw on the White Claw can. But yeah, I know my White Claw. I know my way around a White Claw. But when you drink it, let's call it like it is. Why did White Claw become so popular? It became so popular because it doesn't really taste like alcohol. Like people that don't like beer,
right?
They drink White Claw.
There you go.
Because it doesn't really taste like alcohol. It just tastes like a seltzer drink.
That's right.
Yeah. So I actually believe this lady.
I do too.
Yeah.
She lost her job. Should she get? Hey, police, by the way, were called. Obviously.
Yeah.
Did not charge her. They said we don't think she knew she was drinking. She wasn't impaired.
Yeah.
She was just sipping on a White Claw.
That's the thing too. Is
Also, by the way, if you're drinking on the job, just to be honest, if I were drinking on the job right now, you know what I'd have?
Dump it in a cup.
That's right.
You dump it in a cup, and so yeah, even the dumbest person
right.
would know. If I'm going to drink on the job, I'm going to dump it in a cup.
That's right.
Yeah, so I believe her.
I hope she gets her job back.
I do too.
I think she deserves her job back. She just made an innocent mistake. Should she be more careful? Yes, she should be more careful. But she just made an innocent mistake. There was another one of these within the past year or so. I believe it was also a bus driver. Gummies. Thought they were just gummies. And it was,
God, that'll ruin your day.
Buddy.
Eating those Sour Patch Kids, my goodness.
Can you imagine?
No.
Can you imagine doing
eat 12 of them?
Can you imagine doing 100 milligrams of gummies and you don't know that you are?
No.
And you've never done it. Can you imagine what that must feel like? You must think you're going crazy.
Or think that you're dying.
You must think you're going crazy
Yeah.
if you have no idea of what you're doing, you must think you're going, like when that stuff kicks in,
Yeah.
you must be like, I am losing my mind right now.
Yeah. Or I've been poisoned. Yeah.
You just don't know what's happening, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Like when you hear about kids getting in their parents' gummies all the time.
Oh, I hate those stories. I hate
You
those
got to
stories.
keep those things put
Yeah,
up.
you have to because they just look like little bags of candy.
If your kids see those, they
Yep.
will eat them.
Yep.
All right?
Yep.
You got to keep those things put up.
Yeah, I hate
But can
those
you
stories.
imagine like a 6-year-old kid
No.
eating a gummy and then just flipping out for the next 2 hours?
No.
I believe this woman.
I believe her too.
I hope she gets her job back.
Yeah, I do too.
And I hope she wins her battle with cancer.
I hope so. Yeah,
That goes
I
without-
hope
that
so.
goes without
Of course,
saying.
Of course.
That goes without saying.
Yeah. All right.
Number 4.
A new study shows that 90% of U.S. workers claim to work while sick because they feel guilty about taking time off. Bennett, do you feel guilty about taking time off?
You ready?
Yeah, I am ready.
I don't really feel that great right now. My throat's a little scratchy.
You want to get out of here?
I'm here, man.
But you're here.
I'm here. This is 100% accurate.
100% accurate.
Yeah, because here's why. We live in this world now where, regardless of if you're sick or not, no one believes that you're sick.
Nobody believes you're sick?
Like, if you call in sick,
Uh-huh.
your employer does not believe that you're sick.
Jessica was sick last week. I believed her.
Well, but Jessica, our job's a little bit different, whereas Jessica has the benefit of, like, you can see her on a microphone, like, struggling. Like, you can see the
No, but even
you
when I
can
couldn't
the
see her,
sickness.
even when I didn't see her, and she wasn't here, and she said she was sick, I believed her.
I guarantee.
You're saying Pugs did not believe her. That is what you're saying.
No, I'm sure he believed it.
You just said
No,
if
this
you're
is-
sick,
no,
your employer.
No. Every employer except the Memphis Grizzlies organization.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to make that clear.
Okay.
No, I mean, I think that's true, right? Like, when people call into work, it's like everyone that's there, like their coworkers and everything, is like, oh, they're calling in sick today on a Friday, on a Monday. Like, you can only call in sick Tuesday through Thursday. You can't call in sick Monday or Friday.
You ready?
No one believes you.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
This is my 16th year of doing radio full time, 5 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
I've called in sick once, and it was for kidney stones. I was literally in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
I have never called in sick. Television, I have never called in sick. I was sent home one time, like when we first started working after the pandemic, or like during the pandemic. I don't know. It was like we were testing 3 times a week and wearing masks all the time and all that. And they sent me home because I was coughing.
Yeah.
They sent me home. They said, you've got to go home.
Right.
But I have never called into work.
I never do either.
I've literally had the flu and still been like, I'm coming to work.
Mm-hmm.
I never feel like I'm too sick to do this. Except for when I was quite literally in the hospital with kidney stones. I have never woke up and said, oh, I feel bad. I don't think I can do my job today. That does not happen.
See, that's, for me, it's the guilty thing. It's the guilty thing. I'm like, if I don't feel good and don't come into work, I'm like, oh, no, everybody thinks I'm lying. But that's what this is saying.
Okay, but no, I don't. Okay, so
I feel like that coworkers, employers will think lesser of me if I call in sick. Not lesser as in like, oh, he's a slack, but just, or yeah, he's being a slacker.
I don't. That's not my hang up. I don't think people will not believe. I just told you I'd never call in work. I think if I called in work tomorrow, I think people would assume I must actually be sick because I never do this. Mm-hmm. I do think, like, I've had different jobs where, employees like, oh, I'm not gonna, like. How about this? My wife owns a store, right? Mm-hmm. She has employees, and I'm not saying any of that, but like, if one of her employees was like, hey, I'm going to the Ole Miss game tonight.
Yeah.
And then it was like for some reason Ole Miss was playing on a Friday night.
Yeah.
And this employee was supposed to be at work at 9:00 in the morning, mm-hmm. and they called in sick. I would say, oh yeah, she's not sick. She just went wild last night. Right. But broadly speaking, if somebody's sick, I think the context matters. Like what is today? What was last night? What did you do? Now I'll evaluate whether I think you're sick or not. But I'll evaluate that on a case-by-case basis. Here's what I find interesting about this. At CBS, I used to get 4 weeks of vacation, 20 days. Mm-hmm. take it whenever I want, right? And I still do, except it's not in the contract anymore because CBS doesn't do vacation days or personal days anymore. You know what the policy is now?
What?
Whenever you don't feel like working, don't work.
Oh, wow. That's nice.
If I wanted to take 8 weeks off, I am contractually allowed to do that.
That's pretty cool.
30 weeks off. That's what the contract says. Damn. If you feel like you need a day or a week or a month, take it whenever you need it. Now, that sounds great, doesn't it?
It sounds amazing.
You know what? It's not. Because it's like...
It's like the honor system.
Well, no, it just feels like I don't like. It's much easier when I just had 20 days and I just go, hey, I got to burn 5 days. I got to take these 20. I mean, I got to take them. So I just burn 5 days this week. I'll just burn 5 days this week. Now it's like I don't have to take them because I don't even have them. I have whatever I want. And so I take less vacation now. It's a trick, I think.
It's a trick.
I think they're tricking me.
They're tricking you.
I think I've been tricked.
Yep.
Because that's what lines up with the study. Most people feel guilty about missing work, even while they're sick. So when you tell people, hey, you can come to work or not, it's totally up to you, baked into that is that 90% of people already acknowledge they feel guilty missing work, even when they're sick. So when are they going to take these? I bet you corporations are having employees take less vacation time with the policy that says you can take as much as you want than if you have a defined amount of vacation. I'm living proof of that. At CBS this year, it's like the college basketball season starts in less than a month. I'm just not taking vacation. Mm-hmm. I took 1 full week of vacation. 1.
Interesting.
Now I get some lazy weeks, in the off season where it's like, all right, I worked all week, but I really did nothing. I get some of that. I guess so whatever. I'm not complaining. It's just something I noticed. When you told me I had 20 days of vacation to take every year, I would say, oh, I got to take it.
Yeah.
When you tell me you have whatever you want, I'm less likely to take even the 20 that I had before.
Right.
I think I've been tricked, Bennett.
I think you've been tricked too.
That old Jessica Benson, she's the one that's got it figured out.
Yeah, she definitely does.
She wakes up nose running. She's like, I'm done here. I'll see how I feel tomorrow.
No, I'm coming in.
We could learn a lesson from Jess, We could learn a lesson. Yeah.
All
right. Go read the study for yourself.
Number 5.
Memphis City Council formally accepting $350 million in cash